Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Mostly Gun Stuff. I am your host, Eddie J. I'm so excited to be here today. I hope you guys are too. I've been thinking about doing this show for quite some time. It's one of those things where it's like, should I wait till the first of the year? What should I, but just go ahead and hop on that bicycle and just head down the road. So that's what I'm doing here today. Yes, thank you all so much for being here. I know I don't have any listeners right now, but I'm hoping that changes. Hoping you like the show. Hoping you like the content. Like I said, I live here in East Tennessee, married, got a whole bunch of kids. It's always been a dream of mine to be on the radio, but throughout life, unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards. But, luckily, due to the advancements of technology, I'm able to create my very own radio show through the great option of podcasting. So here I am. Not only have I always wanted to be on the radio, but, like many of you, I hope, I've had a lifelong fascination with, just everything from guns, ammo, knives, ATVs, outdoor gear, you name it. And that's what this show is about. It's about reviews of a wide area of products. It's not about politics. We don't get into politics here. We just get into the review and the fun stuff of, what we're reviewing. And the show is for you. This show is all about you. So if you have comments, questions, if you want something reviewed, please let me know. You can hit us up on email at mostlygunstuff.pc@gmail.com. You can also look us up on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel. It's Mostly Gun Stuff over there. On Instagram, it is mostlygunstuff.pc. YouTube is just Mostly Gun Stuff. But yeah, check us out on podcast on YouTube, Instagram. But yeah, like I said, this show is for you. I'm sure everyone, including myself, has, a ton of favorite like YouTubers, things like that, people they watch. But this show is dedicated, if you're traveling down the road, if you're at the office and can't pull up YouTube, if you're traveling for work, and can't have YouTube running in the car while you're driving, hopefully we're an option. Mostly Gun Stuff. We hope you play it. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you comment. We hope you come back. We definitely want listeners. So, with the podcast, you'll be able to listen to it on Anchor, Spotify. There's a whole bunch right now that I'm forgetting, and that's pretty bad. But I'll get those up there, the other locations that you'll be able to listen. Once again, you'll also be able to catch us on YouTube. I'll be posting podcasts on there as well. It is my goal to start bringing some videos as well as just the podcast to YouTube. Please stay tuned to that because that will be happening. Right now, I'm just in the mix of trying to get my video equipment together. This show is not sponsored by anyone. So all of the gear, all of the guns, knives, ammo, ATVs, anything that we talk about on here is either things that I personally own, have rented, have borrowed, somebody's lent me. So sometimes it can be a little bit tough, but if you know anyone that wants to sponsor the show, if anyone that wants to advertise, if it's in your marketing budget, we would love it. Like I say, I'm just an average guy who loves to shoot, loves to talk on the radio, but I have a 9-to-5, so I would love to be able to create podcasts all day and actually be able to earn a living doing this. That is the end goal, dream goal. But as of right now, it's just a hobby, and I hope you enjoy listening. But yeah, like I said, if you would like to advertise, if you would like to send us products to review, or if you know someone around the area that has something cool that you want reviewed, please, by all means, reach out, contact us, let us know. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. First off, let me drop a disclaimer, okay? Let me back up. This particular episode, and yes, I'm sorry, Glock haters, but it's about a Glock. I do love Glocks. Actually, that's probably a huge understatement. I love Glocks. But that's not the only thing that we're going to talk about in every episode, and I promise I do not hate on other gun companies or your favorite gun. So please don't let my love for Glocks or your disdain for Glocks keep you from listening. Because trust me, Glock haters, like, I understand, like, why, there's so many reasons why someone hates a Glock. There's so many, like, it doesn't have an actual safety. They're so utilitarian looking, because, they're definitely not a gentleman's gun. A Glock is just, it is a battle weapon. That's what it is. Life and liberty. That's what they're made for. They are certainly not going to win any beauty pageants, but they just seem to work. But for a lot of the same reasons why you don't like them, I probably don't like them. A lot of people can't shoot them. They are like a brick. One of the things I've always said, I wish Glock, if you ever do get around to listening to any of my stuff, please make a pistol with a 1911 grip. I mean, you would sell 10 million of them overnight. But yeah, that's just some information there. But please don't let my love from Glocks keep you from listening. But yeah, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about one of my favorite pistols, is the Glock 19X. So the Glock 19X, is it cool? Was it ever cool? Is it still cool? I'm aware that this gun has been out for a while. Many of you probably know everything about it. Some of you may not. Some of you might have just woken up from a long coma and have no clue what it is. So what is it? Is it still cool? Was it ever cool to begin with? Well, for me, it is. In fact, like I said, it is one of my favorite pistols. But let's take a look at the history of it real quick. Like I said, for those of you who have been in a coma and do not know, what the pistol is. It was created and submitted to the federal government to try and win the contract for the new service pistol to replace the Beretta, or the MHS, the Modular Handgun System submissions. A ton of companies had a prototype. SIG, Beretta resubmitted one, FN submitted one, all great pistols. And the Glock 19X was the submission that Glock sent in. Well, as you all know, ultimately, SIG won the contract with the M17 and the M18. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Glock actually got kind of pissed about that and sued over it. I don't know if the lawsuit's still going on, but they did sue over it. But that government contract was worth around, I think, $580 million. So I can see the reason for being upset about it. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about it. So what is it? Essentially, just to sum it up, the Glock 19X, the X Glock state stands for crossover. In a nutshell, it is a Glock 19 slide on a Glock 17 frame. Glock fans, Glock haters, they blew up about it. Absolutely hated it. Well, the internet did and the comment sections did. If I'm not mistaken, to my knowledge, Glock sold over 100,000 of these pistols in 180 days. So, sorry, Glock haters, but not everybody hated it. But yeah, it's a 19 slide on a 17 frame. The color isn't flat dark earth, it's actually coyote, is what Glock calls it. And it is the very first ever factory colored slide from Glock. It also comes with a coyote colored case, which is also a first for Glock. Usually they're all just the black ones, typical black cases that we've all seen from Gaston Glock's company. It's a 9mm, of course. It is 24.83 ounces with an empty magazine, 31.39 ounces with a full mag. Barrel length of 4.02 inches. Overall length of 7.44 inches. Slide length of 6.85 inches. Width is 1.3 inches. The trigger is the typical Glock safe action trigger with a trigger pull of 5.8 pounds. The barrel is the new enhanced hexagonal. I don't know how you say that. Hexagonal with a right-hand twist, or GMB, which stands for the new Glock marksman barrel. Glock said that the barrel is supposed to make the pistol more accurate. I personally haven't seen much difference between the barrel on this one and that of my other Glocks, but I've never been like a competition shooter anyway, so some of you out there probably know a little bit better than I do, but I personally have not seen whether it's helped it much or not. The coating is the NPVD slide coating, which is to be an improvement in preventing corrosion. Come on all the Gen 4s. Has ambi slide stop, slide lock levers, whatever you want to call it. You can swap the mag release on either side to accommodate the lefties out there. It does come with night sights. Has a lanyard loop at the bottom. Comes with one 17-round mag, two 19-round mags. MSRP on the pistol is like $750. I've seen them anywhere from $600 to $750. But with the gun and ammo shortage, that we're having right now, I'd say they're probably going to be pretty expensive if you can find one. And it seems like the ones that I have found out there that has the, we're not going to get into that in this episode, but the roll mark on the side will say Austria and some say USA. For whatever reason, the ones that were actually fully made in the Glock plant in Smyrna, Georgia, that are USA roll marked, have been going for more money from what I have seen. They have been getting, close to full MSRP on those pistols, at least around here. Now, getting back into it, Glock has not listed this pistol as a Gen 5. However, just like the Gen 5s, it has a marksman barrel. It does not have the finger grooves, which we all know from the Gen 4s. It does have the same coating, the MPVD, as the Gen 4s instead of the NDLC, which is found on the Gen 5s. It has the maritime spring cups instead of the normal spring cups like the Gen 5s. It takes Gen 4 mags. So, yeah, it truly is a X crossover, from Glock. But let's back up. Let's talk about the mags real quick, okay? That's something that we have to talk about. And how much this is going to piss you off, because it did me. The Glock 19X will not, and I repeat, will not take Gen 5 mags. Yep. I know, right? WTF. When the Glock mags, when have Glock mags, not been interchangeable? That's something that was always so great about a Glock, is you could interchange them, from all models of pistols, pretty much within the same caliber. But you can't with this one. You can if you have a Gen 5 mag and want to use it in this pistol. You do have to change out the butt plate. And if you change out the base plate on them, it'll be able to work. But straight off the shelf, they will not interchange. That's because it does come with a lanyard loop at the bottom, and there's a very small addition of polymer at the bottom of the frame. And I'm sure you've seen the pistol, but like I said, for those of you that have never seen the gun, don't even know what I'm talking about, there is a smaller piece of polymer at the bottom that prevents the Gen 5 mag from fully seating. So it will not seat. So yeah, that's a definite bummer. If you're like me, you probably got plenty of Gen 4 mags laying around, and it probably doesn't really make a difference. And also to me, going back to why I like the pistol, that kind of adds to the 19X's uniqueness. It truly is its own pistol within the Glock family lineup. It was the pistol, that Glock submitted to the government, which I think is cool. It's not the actual one. The government required within the trials, I'm pretty sure that all the pistols needed to have a safety, like a physical safety, which the actual, pistol that Glock submitted did have the safety. The civilian version, the ones that we were all offered, the ones I have, it did not. which also ticked off the internet, but I don't care. I mean, maybe if they had won it, they would have, introduced that one, but since they didn't, I don't know. But like I said, it doesn't matter to me. To me personally, and you probably feel different, and that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but to me personally, collecting pistols like this, the SIG, the Beretta, the FN, and all the others that were submitted, I think that's just really cool. It's something that, yes, it did not win the government contract, but it's still cool to, own a pistol that was in the running. At least for me it is. I mean, they might not have won it. It might not have been the one that, that was actually issued, and you're carrying a pistol just like the soldiers carry. But, for me it is. If you have that pistol 100 years from now, you'll still be able to look up in the history books. Well, this one wasn't carried, but it shows that this one was one that was submitted. This is one that they tried to get in, as well as the actual M17, M18 that did get in, the FN 509, the Beretta. Those are all still, to me, I think, really neat and interesting topics of conversation, to show off in your gun collection. But like I said, that's just me. So my impressions of the pistol. Excuse me. Yes, like I said, I am a fan. To me, it just feels so good in the hand and how it shoots. Glocks have never typically been the most accurate things, but, like I said, they are combat ready. They do get the job done. Pulling up, getting a clean sight picture, the recoil, it actually feels better than a traditional 19 with that 17 frame. And, it's kind of hard to explain unless you've went out and shot it, but it is just, to me, it is a great range gun, personal defense. If you're going to conceal carry it, life and liberty, home defense, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you're using the pistol for, straight out of the box, for anyone, you have to train. You're not going to be, nothing is going to work unless you train, unless you work at it, unless you get out to the range, and, unless you put several thousand rounds through it. But straight out of the box, if you're a female carrier, if you're a very first time shooter, if you're looking at a pistol, I honestly don't think you could go wrong with it. You have the larger grip from the 17 frame, which lets you get, if you have smaller or larger hands, you're able to get a full grip on it. And the recoil out of the 9mm and the slide and the way that it's set up, it's balanced. There is hardly no recoil in it. It would be perfect. Perfect for gun enthusiasts, perfect for a first-time shooter. If you're a female, likes to carry it in your purse, once again, it's perfect. EDC, I don't know. A lot of people say that they don't really like, they wanted this pistol with the 17 slide and the 19 frame, which I've carried it on my belt inside the waistband. But I typically do not carry a pistol like this for my EDC, for my concealed carry weapon. I just don't. A lot of you may carry a big, Desert Eagle on your hip. I don't know. I don't do that. Personally, I prefer pocket carry. But if I'm in the woods or, I'm out on the boat fishing or, whatever the case may be, and I'm open carrying or I have it on my belt, it's one of my go-tos. But like I said, for EDC, that's really not my thing. But like I said, in my opinion, you cannot go wrong with it. You really can't. But, we'll talk about some of the cons. Once again, the classic Glock hump on the grip. Please, Glock, please make a pistol without the hump. It doesn't even have to be a 1911 grip. Just take the hump out, and everybody's going to love it. But yeah, aside from the hump, it does not take Gen 5 mags, which we talked about, which is a bummer. But like I said, that's a totally different, this particular pistol is a totally different pistol. And the other thing that really, really, really upsets me, for a pistol like this, why, Glock? Why did this pistol not come with an MOS? And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, the MOS is what Glock calls their Glock modular optic system. Basically, all the other ones, it's where the slide, the part of the slide on the back has a cutout where you can mount, a pistol sight, reflex sight, Trijicon, whatever it is, whatever your favorite sight is on the top. For me, the SIG did it, FN did it, and for me, this would have been the perfect pistol to put it on there. But like I said, they didn't do it, and that is one, if not the biggest complaint, even over top of the mags not being interchangeable. I can get over that more so than not having that MOS, just because at this price point and what it is, and all of the other ones did it. I wish, from the factory, that it would have had that in there. And a little bit later on down the road, after this pistol came out, Glock introduced the Glock 45, which is essentially the very same pistol as the Glock 19X, but without that little addition on the grip, where it will take Gen 4 or Gen 5 mags. Very same gun, just not offered in the coyote color. But it has an MOS. It has that modular optic system, so you can mount a sight on it. And, to me, I prefer really that one over the Glock 19X, just because of that. Now, with all the history and everything about it, actually, the 19X being a military submission piece, to me, that makes it, kind of in a realm of its own, but also makes it to where now I had to, also go buy a Glock 45 to add to the collection because it had the MOS on it. But I'm sitting here, like many of you, acting like I wasn't going to do that anyway. Of course, I mean, it's a new Glock. If you're a Glock fan, you're going to go out there, you're going to buy them. I mean, that's just what we do. So finally, is it still cool? Yeah. I mean, I think it is. I think it is, like I said, going back, it is in a realm of its own. It was the, one of the submission pistols to, for the government service, United States military service pistol. It didn't make it, but it is still just such a cool pistol. Even whenever you bring it to the range, people that don't like them, whenever they see them in person, it's always a conversation starter. Someone is always going to stop and be like, oh, is that the 19X, and even people that don't like Glocks, I mean, they're like, I hate that thing, but it is good looking. You know what I mean? So, to me, it still is cool, 3 years later, like I said, I'm terrible at math, but yeah, almost exactly 3 years after the debut, I think it's just as cool as it ever was. And if they ever come out with one with an MOS slide cut, I'm going to be pretty upset about it. But anyway, guys, like I said, I wanted to keep this kind of short and sweet on the first one. We're going to be diving into a whole lot of topics throughout the history of this show. Once again, we hope so much that you like this podcast. Please subscribe. Look for it on your favorite podcast networks. It will be up on Spotify. You can listen on Anchor. But yeah, please keep listening. Look us up on Instagram. Look us up on YouTube. If you want, if you prefer to watch there. And, send us an email. Once again, mostlygunstuff.pc@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know what you think. Let us know about the content. If you'd like to advertise, if there's something that you want us to review, want us to talk about, do that. And let us know. Like I said, we're here for you. Super excited to be here. And be sure to tune in for the next episode whenever I go over and talk about my top 5 guns that I want to purchase right now. My top 5 wish list. Tune in. Make sure you check that one out and see if one of your top 5 also makes the list. Once again, guys, I'm Eddie J signing out. Y'all be safe out there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to